If your chi is kind of chunky and you're feeling kind of funky, it might be time for you to get it together and do a little bit of smudging. I love to smudge. I make smudge. I sell smudge. So I thought I'd spend a little bit of time sharing how I use some of the smudge I use. First thing I want to talk about is white sage, California white sage, white buffalo sage. Smudging 101 starts like this. Don't choose too big a smudge if you're just trying to clear a small problem. It's really beautiful smelling. It's strong. It's kind of like the granddaddy of all sage. It can help move stuck energy. It is also antibacterial. So I also do not light with a lighter. It's metal to me, and we're trying to do fire to release the spirit and the medicine of the plant. Why would you want to smudge? If you want to smudge in your home, if the energy is really dense, if people are prone to colds in there, if there's funky energy and heaviness, if you're an empath, you may feel this heaviness. Whoop, hello, piglet. We're talking about smudging. We're going to light some of this up pretty soon, and we're going to show you what it's like. Don't get a huge bundle if this is the first time you're trying it. This is the kind of thing you use if you're doing a real ceremony or a real intentional use, and you're inviting all your friends over on the moon. To celebrate either the new moon or the full moon. Hi, Piglet. You want to take that off? All right. I really believe that once you light a smudge, you don't turn it out. If you're releasing the spirit, you're honoring the work that the spirit's doing for you because you've invoked it by lighting it, right? So you really don't want to turn the spirit of the plant out. So start small, let it burn. If you feel like you need more, go up to the next one. I wouldn't start with the biggest sage in the room if this is your first time. All right. Even if you've got the funkiest energy in the house, or it's never ever been done, or a lot of toxic people have been in your environment, I would say start small, let it go all the way through, and assess accordingly. So, as I said, don't light with the lighter. Better to light a candle. You can do that with a lighter. I don't have a problem with that. Or use a match. Okay. So if you're only using a match, it can take a lot to get it going. I mean, here, we'll give you a live demonstration, how long it can take to get your smudge going. We're starting off with a little one. So this will spark at times, of course. You do want, generally speaking, something underneath of it while you're burning. I do like to play with fire a little bit, so I don't blow it out either. I just let it burn to whatever degree it's going to burn with the flame. And that's it. And now that it's smoldering, it's doing pretty much what I wanted it to do. I wanted to clean the environment around me. I wanted to kill germs and get rid of any of the whatever. It's cold season. I don't need anything hanging out in my environment. So it also works as a cleanse. Okay, so we're going to just see how long this burns, right? We don't need to have an inferno here. This could burn like this for, you know, 30 minutes. If you want to blow on it, it may last. This looks like it's going out. So I'm just going to relight it because I do want it to light. So once it gets going, if you are cleaning out your house, if that's the point, you want to sort of smudge out all the funky energy in your living space, then I would recommend starting on the bottom floor, starting at the left. All right, now this is going. All right, so now it's smoking very well. Of course, if you're doing this and you've got a smoke detector nearby, you're going to either want to take those batteries out temporarily or just don't start it in that room necessarily. I'm going to let it burn in here. So once it's lit, what do you do with it? Yeah, you can hold it if you want, or you can just place it down on something that can handle the heat and just let it do its thing. You've got that choice. If you are doing your room or your house, you're going to want to walk around with something underneath it so that as it burns, it's not falling on your carpet. Start at the left with the blessing. At the same time, you always want to approach smudging with intentions to clear, to cleanse, to purify, to complete, and on and on and on. Once you get around each of your rooms. You're going to start at the left. You're going to go all the way around corner to corner. You're going to burn in your corners. You're going to leave the room. You're going to go into the next room, down the hallway or wherever. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to start at the left. You're going to go corner to corner to corner. And then you're going to go to the next and on and on and on. You can do around the windowsills. You can do around the doorways. You know what? If you've had a lot of people passing through those doorways, and the energy has been whatever funky, you've been triggered by it, a lot of emotional outbursts or extreme sensitivities. You know what I mean? What's going on in the doorways of your home, you may have to clear the doorways as well. So now let's say you've done your basement, you've done your main floor, now you're going upstairs, you're going to do the whole other room. Maybe this is still smoking again. It doesn't need to be an inferno. There just needs to be smoke and intention and the purpose of getting through the room. What else are you going to do with this? You're going to, yeah, see, if you blow on that, they're real embers. Like this would smolder on its own quite a bit. Once you've done the whole house, and if this is still smoking, then you're going to basically go back to whichever room you think is the most toxic, either in real, like stuff in the air that needs to be killed, or the invisible stuff in the air that needs to be cleansed as well. Take your pick, it all works. You're going to leave this burning until it's completely out in that area. So, like I said, this could take 30 minutes, it could take an hour, it could take who knows how long it's going to take. So, I'm going to place it down safely in um my burn center. This is my ceramic pie plate. I got it at a thrift store. It's extremely heavy. It's quite thick. It doesn't show burn marks because it's all black. And it's basically resting on the remains of other smudging. So it's a nice blend of whatever I burned. Some of it's completely burned, some of it doesn't. Sometimes when I lay something down in here and it's large, like it's one of these big guys and it's burning like crazy because that's the mood I'm in, then it does create a lot of ash. You can keep the ash, you can use the ash for a bunch of reasons. I like to use it because it's a bit of it can be a bit of a flame retardant, and I guess in a little itty bitty way, but sometimes it just burns through whatever is still here. Like you'd be surprised how much ash still burns with the right amount of heat. So that's the basics of white sage. Of course, you can find bundles of white sage with all kinds of combinations in them. I carry a lot of them when I'm on the road, and I carry a lot of them in my car, as a matter of fact, and there's a whole bunch under under this table. So it's everywhere. Play along. It's a fun thing. So the color stuff, if you're coming across the bundles that have flowers in them in color, I consider that basically, well, yes, there's some properties to do with whatever the plant may be. In this case, it's baby's breath. But it's also the color therapy. So if you're wanting to do more work on your body and cleansing your body and lighting it that way, not a bad thing. And then I would also do the same thing. I would start at the bottom on the earth and your root chakra, and I would make your way up through your system to the crown. And, the approach to smudging and sage and which sage you pick really has to do with what you're trying to accomplish. So, like I said, we just went through the example of how to clear your home. So this has gone out now, just a few minutes later, but I've seen smudge that looks like it's not burning, and I've laid it down somewhere innocently thinking I'm done. And 30 minutes later, I've got, smoldering furniture and burn marks in my floor. So do not take any kind of smudging for granted. If the spirit's working, it's working. You don't necessarily always see when spirit is working. I think you'd agree with me if you understand some of this invisible world stuff. So honor the plant medicine if you're invoking it. Honor its use of the space around you to get the work done. I find that I can light similar smudge bundles over and over in the course of weeks and months, and they just light a little bit, they burn a little bit, they go out, nothing major. And then all of a sudden, one day, out of nowhere, one match in the right direction, and they're going. So, take that as a sign that there's either more energy to burn off at that point, or the energy is aligned in such a way to make this clearing most beneficial at that time. Spirit takes good use of what is available around it as well. So, what would you burn in? I would say a lot of people use their abalone shells. I kind of like the abalone shells to store some of what I want to burn in. I really don't burn in it. One, I don't find that they're extremely safe, because if this sucker gets going, if you're lighting a large bundle and it burns from within, the amount of heat that this produces is quite a bit. That's why I'm saying you need like a little bit of a buffer between even whatever your catch-all is. Go ahead, burn on your shell, but hold it over something that's going to absorb some heat for sure, and not incinerate in your hands, because you can really burn yourself with this stuff. So the abalone shell, sometimes if it gets too hot, the coating on the inside will kind of melt. So you don't want to go too deep, I think, with the heat in the shells personally, but who am I to say? I like to, like I say, store what I'm going to burn next, or when it's finished, in almost like an honoring of and a blessing for what came. So that's my beginning Sage 101. Definitely stay safe with the burn.